Welcome, everyone. We are here for an event called Create Your Own Economy. Interesting, isn't it? Create Your Own Economy. And the name very likely tells you a lot about what we're going to be talking about during these 4 sessions that we are here together. So for today, we are going to be together for 1 hour. 1 hour we'll be together, and it will be a packed hour full of lots of great ideas for you to open up your consciousness to a new way of thinking. What's that new way of thinking? The new way of thinking for you creating your own economy. Now, here at Dynamic Destinies, Inc., our worldwide headquarters here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, we actually have a way that we can help you create your own economy. We will be talking about that. We did mention that when we were promoting our free event that we're running here for 4 days. And that is for anyone on this call to become a Destiny coach. And we will be talking a little bit more about that a little bit later. We have some of our Destiny coaches right here on our call that are here with us. And I also want to introduce you to a team of people that are co-serving with me. Together as a team, we are here to serve you. This is the purpose of this business, is to uplift others, to help you recognize where the opportunities are so that you're truly and genuinely living it and enjoying this wonderful thing that we have called life, living it to its fullest. So what's possible for you is possible for anyone, and that is that you truly can create your own economy. But what does that really mean? When you hear those words, create your own economy, what do you think of? What comes to your mind as you're thinking that? Type some comments in the chat box on the, if you're on the Zoom call right now, or if you're on Facebook, you can type it in there as well. What are some things that come to your own mind when you think about creating your own economy? What do you think of? I'd like to see some of the comments. See, what happens is as soon as you hear something or you see something, it comes to you and through you through your own filters. What do I mean by filters? Your filters are your belief systems. These are the things that are already impressed and implanted in your subconscious mind. That's what you've built as belief systems from information that you've gathered up to this point in your life. Therefore, in order for you to experience something different, something unlike what you've been experiencing, for example, earning more money, you must think a little different. And so we're going to be focusing today on the thinking part of creating prosperity consciousness. So let's see what some of the comments were to that question that I asked earlier. What does it sound like to you, creating your own economy? What does that mean to you? And so we've got a number of answers that have come in. I want to thank you for that, for answering those questions or the question. And we're getting a wide variety of answers here. So we're hearing freedom. Yes, absolutely. The first answer that I saw, what economy? My own money budget, being in business for myself, passive income, freedom and financial freedom, revenue, working for yourself, making as much money as you desire. MSIs, which are multiple sources of income, passive income, do what I love, making money, being involved in the most productive part of our culture, creating financial freedom. My business is an MSIs, freedom, money, creating my own business. Okay, so very, very similar responses to what it was intended. And the intention of today was to have you think a little different, have you open up your consciousness to what's possible for you. Because the truth is, whatever you're experiencing in your life today, and when I'm talking about what you're experiencing, I'm talking about how much money you have or don't have, talking about how much you're earning or haven't earned. That has all been based on what your beliefs were previously. But you came here for a reason. There was something about this event that attracted you to be here for a reason. Perhaps part of that reason is so that you could experience the time and money freedom. Is that something that you would love? Type in the chat box if having time and money freedom, the ability to do what you want, when you want, and at the same time earning the kind of income that you would love to be earning, doing great work in this world, would you love that? All right. Yes. Okay, good. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. Absolutely. Of course. Yes. Okay, good. Now, I would expect that, at this present time, the number of people that we have on the call, that I would see, yes, Mark says, is that a rhetorical question? A yes answer from absolutely everyone. All right, now I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer this next question really honestly, okay? Very, very honestly. Do you believe that you have what it takes to earn any amount of money? Do you believe you have what it takes to earn any amount of money? Do you believe that? Okay, good. Yes and no. Someone, okay, no. All right, good. I'm looking for the honest answers. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. This is great. Sometimes, thank you, Joanna. Appreciate the honesty. You said any, yes. We need to discover it. I just want to know if you think it's possible for you. Yes, Beate, you do have infinite potential. Anna, 80%. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate your honesty. Once in proper balance. Okay. All right. So what Diane is referring to are values, right? Balance. When I think of balance, what I think of is what's most important to you. And are you taking care of all those areas that are most important to you in your life? That would be what's called balance. But balance for one person might be very different from balance to another. But what I know to be true is that every one of you, and even the people outside of this Zoom room or on Facebook right now, everyone has the opportunity to truly create their own economy. Now, this is what I want you to know and understand. Really know this and understand this, because what I'm about to say absolutely profoundly changed my life. All right, you ready? You do not have to know how. You do not have to know how you're going to do that. But you must decide that is what you're going to do. Meaning you must decide that you're going to create your own destiny, that you're going to create your own economy. Is that something that you've decided to do? By showing up here today, I suspect it is, but I'd love for you to type it in the chat box. Is this something that you would love to do? Okay, good. Yes. Right. So you don't have to know how, of course. Yes, I would. Perfect. Okay. Good, good, good. I would love to do it 100%. Absolutely. Really what we're doing is we're taking the thinking cap off. That most people have limitations, right? They create their own ceilings. Now, how do those ceilings get created? It's like someone who's earning a certain amount of money. My friend and mentor, Bob Proctor, will ask people this question: what's the most amount of money that you've ever earned in a year? And he said, I don't ask people that question to be nosy. He said, I ask people that question because I want to know what they think they are worth, what they think they are worth. Now, there are some people out there in the world that are earning money and they think and believe they're worth more. They think and believe they're worth more. Now, will they actually attract more into their life if they think and believe that they're worth more? Will they? I'm asking questions. So we're interacting here, guys. So do you believe that if you just had the belief that you are worth more, that you would attract more into your life? Okay. All right. I'm happy to see the answers coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Most likely, right. I would say not necessarily. That would be my answer. Not necessarily. And here's why. Because of attitude. If someone has a belief that they are worth more money, but yet they have a bad attitude, in other words, they are complaining or moaning or whining about things in the world, maybe about what's going on right now because of COVID. If they're in that energy of complaint, if they're in the energy of negativity, they are not going to attract it into their life. They're very likely going to continue to create what they're creating now, or potentially worse, unless and until they do something about the way that they're thinking. You see, we've got to change the way that we're thinking and invite new opportunities into us. But there will be a process that goes on once you make the decision. So you're saying you've made the decision that you would love to have time and freedom, or money and time freedom. You've made that decision, and it's absolutely possible for you. And it's possible for you to earn as much money as you would love to earn, or have as much money as you would love to have. It's absolutely possible. It is possible. But unless you believe it, that's the next step. You've got to believe it's possible and know this, that you don't have to know how, but yet you celebrate and feel as if it's already here right now, like feeling and energetically connecting to what you would really love to be earning. So here's the next question that I have for you. How much would you love to be earning every single year? What kind of income would you love to be earning? And if you like, and if you're willing to, type it in the chat box. If you're willing to share what you would love to be earning a year, type it in the chat box. Now, what happens is when I ask that question, what happens, maybe not so much for you or everyone that's on this call, but here's what typically happens. As soon as the question is asked, how much would I love to earn? What most people do is they start to think about, how would I do that? How would I do that? And if they're thinking about how they would do that and they don't get an answer on how they would do that, what do? They dismiss it, right? They just throw it away. All right, so let's see what we have here on the right-hand side in our Zoom room. So we've had a number of people that have typed in answers. So Julie, thank you, Julie. She's saying $1 million. I have another answer here. It looks like 1.2 million, 250,000, 30,000 a month or more, 300 to 500, not sure what that currency is there, 500,000 a year, $1 million, 4 million, 1.2 million, 1 million, 12 million euros, 100,000 per month, 400,000, 1 million annually, 1 million annually, 140,000, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million a year is what I will earn. Enough money to sustain myself and give back to charity. You need a number, create a number. It is important to be specific, by the way, with your goals. All right, 400,000, $1 million. Is that 1.5? Let's just check here. 1.5 million euros. 1 million, 1 million, 200 million. All right. 1 million, 1 million. 1 million seems to be pretty popular. Oh, that was euros. Thank you, Ellie. Okay, 3,500,000, 1 million. Okay, so very, very similar numbers. That number is what you would love. Now, how many of you believe you could earn that? How many of you believe you could earn that? Even though you don't know how, do you believe you could earn it? Yes. Okay, good, good. I was expecting a whole bunch of yeses. Okay. Excellent. All right. The next thing that you do, once you decide how much you would love to be earning, what I suggest that you do is commit it to paper by writing it down as a goal statement. So you would write it in this fashion. I am so happy and so grateful now that, now here's how I would write it. I am easily earning. So I'm so happy and so grateful now that I am easily earning, and then declare that amount. Now, what you could also do is expand on that goal statement a little bit further and say something like, I am so happy and so grateful now that I'm easily earning, and then you declare the amount, doing work that's completely fulfilling and meaningful or beneficial or contributing to the world or something along those lines. You could add those words. Yeah, Catherine says it's in my Power Life script and I'm writing it out every day. Okay, wonderful. I love that. Okay, great. That is wonderful, Catherine. I love that you're doing that. What I would also suggest that you do is put it on a little card. It could be a small index card like this. Put it on a little card and carry it with you. I have mine written on a little purple card that I have inside my phone case. So I carry my phone case with me. It's with me wherever I go, pretty much 24/7. And I have my goal card in there. And I'll take it out when I come into my office in the morning. I'll take it out and I'll look at it. But here's the way to effectively use a goal card is that first of all, when you write it as I suggest, in the present tense as if you're living it now. And then when you read it in a way that you feel the emotion, like you genuinely connect to that emotion, feeling as if you're doing it. So let's do something right now. I would like everyone to close your eyes just for a moment. Everyone, close your eyes. Close your eyes. And now if you're driving, don't close your eyes. If you happen to be connecting in your car, do not close your eyes, but just keep listening. But those of you that are not driving, you're in your office, you're in your home, close your eyes. Okay, so you've decided how much you would love to earn. We're here talking about creating your own economy. All right, so you're thinking about how much you would love to earn. I want you to imagine right now, that is your income. You're earning that kind of money. Just notice, how are you feeling? Did that cause you to instantly smile? Did you feel you were uplifted? Did you notice your energy changed at the idea of feeling the connection to knowing that you're earning that kind of money right now? Okay, and now that you're earning that kind of money, keep your eyes closed. Now that you're earning that kind of money, what's going on in your life? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? We saw one person made a comment in the chat box about donating to worthy causes, charities that mean the most to them. Are you donating to charities? Are you helping out loved ones, family members? Are you purchasing something? Are you purchasing that new car that you've been thinking about that you would love to have? Did you buy that home that you've been dreaming about? Did you go on that amazing first-class vacation? What is going on in your life now that you're earning that kind of money? And really feel it now. Feel it. Okay, open your eyes. Now, here's what I want to know. What happened for you while you're in that experience of imagining that you are earning the kind of money that you would love to be earning? What happened for you? Who wants to share? I want to have some, raise your hand if you'd like to share. Raise your virtual hand. We're going to open the mic. We're going to bring you into the spotlight. Okay, look, we're getting lots of responses right on the right-hand side here. Yes, yes, balance, creating, donating. I'm happy, I'm relaxed, great satisfaction. I felt the tension leave from my head. Goosebumps once you said, feel it, relaxed, lighter. I could feel my vibration rising. I'm feeling comfy, peace, felt abundance. I feel super happy, confident, peace. It is peaceful state, excitement. Felt super, expanding, joyful, crying almost. Yeah, okay. Good. If you were feeling those feelings, then you were genuinely connecting to it. And the way that you manifest the kind of money that you would love to earn is by doing what you just did. You took a moment, you followed some guidance, and all you did was you directed what? Your thoughts. You directed your thoughts. Where did you direct those thoughts? You directed those thoughts over to what you would love. That's where you directed those thoughts, and then you connected with it. Now, you did that here and right now. Now, I know some of you, there's a number of people that I'm familiar with that are here that have been involved in my training or are already Destiny coaches with me. This is something that you're very likely doing every day, multiple times a day. And this is how you manifest. You have to feel it every day, multiple times a day, not once in a while, every day, regardless of what's going on outside of this room or your home or your car or whatever you're in right now. Regardless of what's going on, you can create your own economy. And where you're creating it initially is here in your consciousness. But the moment you think times are tough, the moment you think you can't do it, you shut off the vision. You shut down the thinking space. You cannot possibly manifest wealth when you're thinking lack. You can't. It does not work. You attract based on how you are feeling most of the time, the dominant feelings you're involved in most of the time. Now, this is going to take some training. It's going to take some training to condition yourself to think prosperity, to think abundance, if you haven't been doing it in the past. Right now, one of the people that we have here with us today is a lovely woman that I met 1 year ago, May 2020. And this woman was in debt at the time. and she wasn't really thrilled about what was going on in her life at the time. So I'm going to invite her into the spotlight, and I would like her to talk about what her experience was. So Vladdy, let's bring Vladdy into the spotlight. And I would love to invite Vladdy to share a little bit about her experience. So Roddy, are you able to bring Vladdy into the spotlight for me? Oh, there she is. She's up at the top of the screen there. Okay. Add to spotlight. There she is.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Vladdy. So Vladdy, as I was just sharing that right now and talking about the process of imagining, like, you know, for me, 40 plus years being into it, studying this, I understand. I can still remember when I was feeling that choked feeling and being all in debt. But your experience is somewhat, let's say, compressed in a shorter period of time. And so one of the things that you've accomplished just within the last year was getting yourself out of debt. Now that was a financial situation and attracting a dream job. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but attracting a dream job. But when you first got into these materials and you first started studying, what was going on? Tell us a little bit about your own conflict in the beginning and what you were feeling as far as the challenge was concerned.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see all the beautiful souls. I've experienced a massive contrast, and the reason being was because, well, I found myself in a very bad situation after having quite a nice life, but then I've had kids and I've decided to be a home mom and given them all the attention, and I lost confidence and contact with all my London life and high style life. And I just lost myself. And, you know, as we always manifest, whether it's good or bad, we manifest all the times. And when you're rolling into something, when you feel lack, no belief, negativity, less worthiness, it just keeps wrapping up and layering. And I was in a really bad state. And then I got into a point when I was actually diagnosed with breast cancer. And that was my wake-up call with really small 2 children. And I thought, this has to stop. And I remember actually Bob Proctor on the shift, Paradigm Shift, and he said, if you're digging your, no, help me out here, Peggy.
Yeah, if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. I don't know whether Bob says that. I say that all the time.
You say that all the time as well. Yeah.
I don't know. Does Bob say that as well? Because that was a Winston Churchill, actually.
It was a Winston Churchill who said that. That's true. But that was the paradigm shift which actually got my attention. And I got to Peggy. That really woke me up. So basically, what I really realized was taking a responsibility. I think, you know, like, it doesn't matter what you do. There are so many things and people, and I hear this all the time. Like, my contrast was like, nobody really believed that I can do it. And I didn't believe I could do it. But I believe the materials, like every cell of my body. I saw everyone studying these materials. I saw people being successful, and I knew it works, but I just didn't believe it would work for me because, you know, who am I? I questioned myself and everything I possibly could, really. And then Peggy, I reached out to Peggy, and I never forget her believing in me was what really pulled me out. I needed someone to believe in me. And when you find yourself, like, my husband wasn't on board, my people, nobody was really on board. And I kind of decided to secretly do it because something was telling me that I must do this. And I was really unhappy, frustrated, and dissatisfied. So that my starting point wasn't a burning desire. It became a burning desire, but it was the frustration and dissatisfaction. And I had enough. Now, I wasn't in a position, I did quit my job to start this, and then obviously not working, I thought, you know, how am I going to pay for all this? But and I'm not suggesting anyone to do this, by the way, but I knew I had to borrow all the money I could to just pull myself out because I believed the materials worked. I didn't know how to do it, but, you know, I really believed Peggy. I believed Peggy, and I believed all I was studying, and I saw the successful people. And, you know, they always say, if you want to be successful, you follow someone with success. And then the environment, I realized the environment, it's what we give energy to, you know, and there are so much negativity in the world. I mean, I never really watched the news, so that wasn't really my issue. But I just wanted more, and I wanted to be free, financially time free, being independent, and taking the responsibility. And I started repeating the sentence every day. I'm responsible for my life, my thoughts, my feelings, my personal growth, and every single result I get. When I heard that quote and I started actually repeating it, it felt a little bit weird because, you know, like telling yourself you're responsible for all the bad things that are happening to you is not quite nice at the beginning. You go like, well, surely I'm not causing this. And this is not happening because of me. And when you actually come on terms that it is, because you can snap out of anything so fast, just as fast as you get into problems, you can come out of them.
That's so true.
The problem is and gratitude is like you live in gratitude and you just see good in everything and everybody. And you try this for 7 days. And I remember when one of the mentors said that, like, try this for 7 days. It changed my life. It really has changed my life. And then I've seen something's happening, and I've seen within 7 days a massive change. And I thought, I'm going to give this a test. But now it comes, are we all able to do it? Yes, because we are perfect spiritual beings. We are made the God highest form of creation, which nobody can ever equal you. You are perfect the way you made, and we're trying to become someone, but you already are the perfect spirit. You just need to release what's in you. You need to tap into that inner understanding and power and knowledge, and that's what happened to me. Just allowing to feel good and letting the spirit work through. Stop asking all the people, like, what do I need to do? Like, attend. I'm not saying don't come to these classes, because that actually got me where I am. But, you know, like I see lots of you, like I have lots of chats with lots of people, and everyone's like, which affirmations did you do? Because it will get me there. Believe yourself. You listen to the materials, read the materials, listen to Peggy, listen to whomever resonates with you. But then it comes to the point where you will get that sentence, something stands out, write it down. That is what you need to write down. And that's what you need to read, because it was sent to you. There is no accident. You were meant to hear stuff you're hearing. And when I actually started believing more, and I actually surrounded myself with people who are really uplifting me up to this day. Do I not have a bad days? Oh, surely I do. I do. But I can really get back fast on track. That is like, I'm loving my life now. And the dream job with Peggy, I'm so thrilled with what I'm doing. And helping people is the best thing I could ever wish for. There is nothing better than helping someone to probably going through everything so fast. I just want everyone to just change in a year's time, because it is so blissful to live that life. You can do so much good and grow yourself while you growing others. And I love the creativity environment. I was in a legal and financial industry. So you can imagine within the lawyers, I kind of, that kind of competitiveness, it's not my core values. I wasn't happy in there. And, you know, it's when you take control of you, and that's what happened to me. It's you control your life and you make a choice. And I was studying faith and everything, you know, like COVID happened. It was a blessing for me, because I stayed home. I was super busy before, and all of a sudden I slowed down and I wrote a book. And that's how actually I reached out to lovely Peggy, because I wanted to say thank you to Bob and Peggy and dedicate that book for them. But I had no idea how to write a book. I mean, the poor Peggy, she probably thought like, oh, I've literally made a request, like, if you could just give me one sentence so I can do it tonight, which doesn't quite work that way, but, you know, and I wrote it, and it was who I become in a process writing that book. I believe still got me to this job. Did I dream of working with Peggy? Well, I shouldn't say wish, but I desired it later stage. But it happened because of the book, because I just started meeting people, being in thriving environment. When you're actually living in a thriving environment and you just with like-minded people, everybody helping each other, we support each other. I just love it. I love it. I'm like, I love helping. I love reaching out to people, talking, and then you never feel you're alone. And, you know, it's that belief and self-love and self-worth. And I've heard the sentence, you cannot give what you don't have. And, you know, some certain parts I was like, sure, I can, you know, I can give so much love to other people. But then you realize when you start loving who you're becoming and who you are, because you are such a great person, every single one of you, there is nobody's bigger or better or smaller, you know, law of relativity, there's nothing big or small, but you are unique, and you need to find that unique way you can bring your potential and start giving the world. You know, it's like I say this to the kids, imagine that secret genie behind you. And I say to them all the time, it's like, well, I can't do this. I said, genie goes, your wish is my command. Of course you can't, because you just declared that. And I've actually then started tapping into it. I said, that works for us too. If the power of words we're using, and that was me. I was like, oh yeah, it's nice, but I can't do this. You know, it's easy for them to say. I was like, yeah, it's easy for Peggy, but you know, I'm here. I can never do that. And when you stop using that language and you realize that you are perfect, it's just, you can do anything. You can be anyone. You can give anything. You can just have anything. But could I do it on my own? No, because it's that organized knowledge. I did it on my own for probably 3.5 months, and then I got overwhelmed. I just didn't, it was like everything, too much of everything, and you don't know how to structure, which way to go. And it's that organized knowledge and the masterminding club, the classes, like the groups of people I meet in the programs, they're on the same quantum leap thinking. You want to be on that frequency with that people. And I'm not saying that all the other people are bad, but you will feel that as you grow, that you need to be interacting with people who keep you uplifted. And it's not about being higher or lower than anyone. It just needs that energy, which is going to go, come on, just forget it and do this. And you go like, yeah, of course. Because sometimes we need that pat on the back and say, yes, you can do that. And you actually believe in you. And that's what happened to me when Peggy, you can do that. Well, just say, I'm a powerful woman. I love you. Say it into your eyes in the mirror. I was like, whoa, that felt really weird. Saying to myself in the mirror, I love you. That was the hardest thing actually Peggy suggested. And I couldn't do it when I started. And then you see other people in your eyes when you're saying, I love you, and it worked. That was kind of my transition, trying to imagine I'm saying it to someone else instead of me. But you find that inner strength and power and the love you have within you. And investing in myself was the best thing I did. Did I believe I can pay all the debts? I believed it would work. I didn't know how, but I went into it because I actually now ask everyone, be honest with yourself and say, what is it costing you at this point not to do it? And that is my sentence. Whenever I hit this, like, you know, like I'm already doing these 3 programs. Do I need this? What would you laugh? I want quantum leap. So I want to do 5 programs at the same time. Doesn't work for everyone, but I'm a little extreme. I do things my own way because it works for me. And when I started realizing that I'm listening to Peggy, Bob, whoever, but I'm choosing what works for me. And you know, Bob actually, when he came, Peggy invited him, and I wanted to ask him about my goal, and I never got into it because he gave the exercise to me, and he did this with me on screen. Peggy knows that was my blissful moment because I really wanted to meet him. And he said, let the spirit come through you. Close your eyes and just allow it. Allow to listen to your intuition. Your intuition will tell you what you need to do. You don't need to ask your people. Because, you know, like-minded people, you want to share your goals with them because they are there, fired up for you. Yes, you can do it. But not all the people around you will give that energy to where you want to go. So you choose who you spend time with, what do you do, and how you do it, and you can just come. And then when you reach a certain point, it's just so amazing. I just recommend everyone to just think and be in control. Whatever feels best for you, just do it, you know, because you can do it. And I'm going to stop talking because I'm talking too much, Peggy, now.
Never. Oh my goodness. You know, I feel like, so for everyone that's not familiar with Vladdy and my relationship. So Vladdy, I met a year ago, and I feel like the proudest of proud mentors, parents. She calls me her success mommy, and I call her my success daughter. And so we've developed that kind of a bond. And Vladdy started working with us just a few months ago, and I couldn't have asked for a better team member. And as you can see, everyone that's watching this, you know where her heart is. Her heart is in joy. Her heart is in the spirit of giving. Her heart is on helping other people. And as I'm watching you, Vladdy, I'm thinking about something that I've heard Bob Proctor say many times. Here's what he says. He says that when you get invested in these materials and you go a year down the road, because you know what, a year is going to pass anyway. And if you do nothing, you know, your life is very likely going to be worse because nothing stays the same. Yes. But when you really get to be like you are, you become a very serious student. You're now into the materials, not only from a perspective of being a student, you're also a teacher, you're an advisor, you're a guide, you're now helping other people. And so as a result of that, what's happened is your entire life has transformed. You got completely out of debt. Your relationships are you're calmer, you're happier, you're living that fulfilled life. And yeah, you do get out of alignment every once in a while. Everybody does. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. But Bob says, you know, look, when you really invest, look at your life a year from now, you're going to have to look at it from a telescope or with a telescope.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
You have done
and just guys, I promised Peggy, because she helped me, and I was like, I said to her, I will sign up for skipping levels in September. And I remember I couldn't get the money because I was publishing the book, and I took quite a lot of loans, so the bank didn't approve it. And I remember, again, I'm not saying people take a loan, but it was my personal decision, the best one, but it was something I really needed to do. But then when Peggy said, I promised I will be there in January. And when Celine reached out in Christmas and she said, well, are you ready? And I thought, what's changed in 6 months? I wasted 6 months and nothing really changed financially. I still don't have the money. So I just thought, like, what is it costing me now? I wasted 6 months and we don't know how much time we have. And that sentence I really laughed, because I experienced a friend who's lost a child. And you know, like, we really don't know how much time we have and how much impact and love we can leave. And I want my kids to just live these materials as well. It doesn't matter how long I'm gonna be here, but I want them to be aware of it and change the next generations. And also the world just needs help, especially now.
Oh, it's so true. And really what you're doing is you're not only impacting other people in the world, you're impacting your children. Like Joshua and Elizabeth, they're watching you and they're observing, they're paying attention, and they're noticing, like that whole idea about the genie. You know, when you said that, I was thinking about everyone that's here in the room. Everyone do that. Imagine that there's a genie there. Like, I went to Walt Disney World with my grandson and I got a magic wand. And, you know, just so I can wave it around and grant your wish and your wish and your wish, and everyone's wish can be granted. But is the power in the wand or is the power in the genie? No, but it's in the universe. The possibilities are there. You know, I was reading on the weekend about people that have created empires in the last year. Like COVID hit. What did a lot of people do? You know, they went back to bed, pulled the covers over their head and said, wake me up when this is over, right? And it affected businesses. It affected restaurateurs. It affected other people that are in service-related businesses, and some of them in big ways. But the ones that thrived, like really thrived, just saw it as, okay, you know, I'm either going to sink or I'm going to swim. What do I choose right now? And they chose to thrive, and they just found different ways. I was reading story after story after story of how people have completely transformed my life. And that's what you did. There was a question that was asked earlier, Vladdy, when you were speaking. Someone wanted to know, even when you had those down times, were you still studying? Now, I think
yes, always.
Always.
I'm honestly living and breathing the materials. I wake up at 5 and I study till 6:30 till kids get up. I go to school, they listen to the materials. And I mean, trust me, I go like to Wales. I drive to Wales 5.5 hours. And sometimes my son, after 4 hours, he's like, can we not listen to Bob and Peggy anymore and have some music? I just know this is my time. I'm having it on. But, you know, like I clean the house, I go out, and one of my earplugs, I go for a walk, always listening to Power Life Script is actually one of the, I'm not saying it because it's Peggy's, but that is the most powerful tool. But I've spent a very deep time making sure that that Power Life Script is exactly what I want, and it's rightly worded. And it took me 3 weeks actually, and I re-recorded it 5 times, and I got frustrated. I was like, come on, because mine is quite long, it's 42 minutes. So re-recording it each time it didn't sound right, I was like, oh, come on. But man, and that is such a powerful tool. This is why I think I put everything I really desire in there. And if you listen to it a few times a day, it's just, I fall asleep with it, you know.
That's awesome. So Christine Lee, who is on the call, she's also an author. She wrote a wonderful book that became a bestseller. And I've known Christine for many, many years. She's also a product of the product. And she wrote in the chat box, she said, you become a product of the product with the materials and with Bob's materials too, like Quantum Leaps. And really, and Christine is a Destiny coach. So she has chosen to become a Destiny coach. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But what I want to ask you, Vladdy, is as a result of you helping others, how has that helped you?
Oh, I just love it. I don't think there is any better job in the world than helping other people. I mean, to me, it really is a core value. I want to be financially free. I want to have time freedom. I want to go and travel. In fact, I just want to go and meet Peggy and everybody just be live on stage and hugging people. I just love personal contact with people. But it has massively impacted me because when people actually say thank you, it's not about thank you. It's about, you know, they actually made a change. I mean, that is like proud moment for me. I just love it. You know, like when I used to help people as a lawyer, I didn't have the sense of satisfaction, if you know what I mean. It just wasn't there. But now people actually change. And because I was able to change, I made the change, made a decision to change, I now just love seeing people to change. And you know, you can really do and be anything. Yeah. And you know, I heard it a year ago and I thought, yeah, right. I didn't believe it. I mean, a little bit I did, but I thought not anything. But I thought that's just too good to be true. But when you really saturate, and you know what, I'm gonna just say one more thing, is like thinking that this is the world where you're studying, where Peggy is, Bob, all these materials, and you're here. I think that was once I blended it together and actually started living it and breathing it. You can't separate it. There is not like, okay, I'm going to separate half of the day to be with them and half of the day to live my own life. It doesn't quite work. You need to feel that actually it's part of my life. You know, I'm on calls where I just have to be in a car with kids or something. I don't mind. As long as I can listen, sometimes I can't show my face for a few minutes, but it is what it is. But as long as I'm still on it, I feel that sense of commitment. And the one thing I actually do have is discipline. I gave myself a command and I could follow it. Belief was something I was missing, but I knew that if I actually set the task and somebody said to me, write it 60 times, oh, it was painful, but I did it because I had to do it.
It doesn't have to be painful.
I know, that was my choice. Yes, you choose faith or fear. It doesn't matter what you choose. You only can make one choice, though. You can't choose both.
That's beautiful. You know, I love you sharing your story. You mentioned also who you become in the process. And everyone that's on this call right now, I asked you, what would you love to be earning? We're talking about creating your own economy. And even if you had a number before, really, I'm going to suggest stretch yourself. Make it a higher number, a little bit of a bigger number, not a little bit, make it a lot bigger, because here's what I want you to understand that is absolutely true. There's two things I'm going to say here. One is that there's no more effort required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than it is to accept misery and poverty. Now that's Napoleon Hill's words straight out of Think and Grow Rich. But if you really analyze that for a moment, no more effort. No more effort is required to aim high in life. So every one of you that wrote out what you would love to be earning in the chat box earlier, you absolutely have that potential and more and more. But you know, the benefit of earning that kind of money that you would love to be earning is not so that you have those dollars, euros, pounds, whatever currency you happen to be in. That's not the biggest benefit. Yes, it's a wonderful benefit, but the biggest benefit, Vladdy mentioned when she was sharing earlier, she said it's who you become in the process. And this is the truth with Destiny coaches too. Like I see the change in Christine Lee as an example. As I mentioned, I've known Christine for years, who she's become in the process. Just before we got on the call and started today, she said, I just registered another client that she's going to be working with them through the Destiny Key program. So I have a question that came in, Vladdy, and I'm going to keep you here in the spotlight if you're okay with this. And I want everyone to know, we had a meeting earlier today with the team. We have Roddy, who I introduced you to the last time. Roddy is now on the Dynamic Destinies team, and he is our support all guy. I mean, he just does everything to help us, to support us. But who's he supporting? He's supporting you. Like, he loves these materials. He's been a phenomenal student for many years. He has a beautiful heart, kind heart, and very, very talented in many areas. So we're very blessed to have Roddy on our team. And we just added a new team member, Mick Peterson. Mick Peterson is now part of the Dynamic Destinies team. Now let's just bring Mick into the spotlight here for a moment. There he is. Hey, Mick. And so, Mick,
hello.
Hello there. Okay, so, earlier we were talking about who you become in the process. And Mick, you've had experiences like that as well, where you've set goals. I met Mick 7 years ago. It's our 7-year anniversary. We met May 2014. And where we met was at an event. I was speaking at it. It was in Dallas, Texas. Mick was there. And Mick had an idea. And it was an idea that you dreamt up, really. Right? Tell us a little bit about that and what transformed for you by being in the study and staying in the study.
Well, thanks for having me on, and I'm so excited to be part of your team. And Vladdy, oh, amazing. I'm so proud of you, and I just met you. Anyway, I had this dream about writing a book. I always thought it would be fabulous to be a writer, but I kept telling myself, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Well, I used to own a whole bunch of real estate, rental properties, and I sold those properties, and I went to a Bob Proctor seminar, and that's where I met Peggy. And that's where this love affair began, because I adore and love you so much, Peggy. And what I found and what I just...
We're not having an affair.
No.
I'm teasing because one time I posted a picture of a few pictures of Mick on Facebook. And
that's right.
Mick, you can see, is very handsome. And my aunt saw these pictures of this guy who's on my Facebook page, and she called me and she's like, who's this Mick Peterson guy? And, and I was like, I don't understand. She goes, well, I'm seeing all these photos of this guy on your Facebook. You in Ottawa, he's coming to your cottage. Who is this guy? And does Denny know about him?
Yes, and Denny and I are close friends, just like Peggy and I have become. But what I mean by that is that I have a reverence for Peggy and for the material that she teaches, and not just that, but the way she shows up. So I had this idea, and I told her that I had this idea for a book, and she said, well, you can write a book. So I just got to work. I started in the committed author program, and I did everything she said. I don't know, there were 25 or 30 hours of videos, and I would be ironing. At the time I was a flight attendant. I would be ironing my uniform, listening to that. I was constantly listening to this information. And then following through, doing what she said. I would listen to the recording and stop it, and then do what she said, and then start just step by step, and then start again and keep doing that. And then my book, it released, and it became an international bestseller. And not long after that, I had heard of Phil Goldfine, but I didn't know much about him. And he called me. And since I've gotten to know Phil, I know how he operates, but he's very direct. He doesn't have a lot of time to waste, so he just gets right to it. And he called me and he says, you need to come out to Universal Studios, and I want to option the rights to your book. And so we began this journey, and we're still working on this, but I got a publishing deal after that, and all these other things happened. Well, going through this, I found that I was emotionally on this roller coaster, and Peggy kept saying to me, stay in the study and hold the belief of it. And I have. And so when she mentions that her aunt is asking about who is this guy, mm-hmm. I would go to every single event. I would show up to every live event and any webinar. I signed up for all the programs. I did everything. And then I would show up at these events and then how can I help you? How can I help you? I'd be checking people in, whatever it took. I would do that. I would jump on a plane and I would fly across the country. Well, go to a different country, go to Canada, to be part of this, because I discovered that if you start listening to the people that are around you, that they don't support you and they don't support the vision and they want to hold you back, you have got to put yourself in places where people that support you are. And Peggy has been that for me. And it's, when I say Peggy, I don't mean just Peggy. I mean Peggy and her tribe. All of you are here. And I can promise you that this is the best place to be. I don't want to go anywhere else. And I've manifested this incredible dream home. I did exactly what she said. I retired from my 22-year career as a flight attendant. And my life just keeps getting better and better and better. And it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch myself as an observer. And also, you guys don't really know me, but my favorite thing to do is to laugh and to make fun, and mostly make fun of myself. So if I do as an observer, I can just say, can you believe you just did that? And then laugh. And then also say, I love you for doing that. Just like you said, Vladdy.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, Mick. Mick, what I love about his story, I had goosebumps actually while you were talking, Mick, in such a wonderful way. And Vladdy too, like when both of you were talking, like Mick, he had this idea to write a book and he was thinking, I can't do it. And now his book's being optioned to be made into a movie. He got an agent, he got a publisher. I mean, there's a lot more to Mick's story. He's condensing many, many accomplishments that have occurred over the years. But what you're hearing and understanding is he's in the study. He got in the study. He surrounds himself with positive people. And it's not just like when Bob Proctor started offering programs back in 1979, I signed up. And then when I finished that set of programs, he offered it again. I signed up again. I was just repeat. Because what happens is the more you expand your consciousness, the more awareness is there. And if you really want to experience what you would love and have those goals manifest in your life, you got to get in the study and stay in the study. So one of the things that we're providing for you is a way to do that. And it's through something called the Destiny Coaches. And we'll put a link in here. Both Vladdy and Mick they're on my team as advisors. They're here to help you determine whether this is a right fit for you or it's a right fit for us too. So we're going to be talking about that. We got a few minutes here and we actually have some questions that have come in. And I want to ask Vladdy this question actually. So Jamie, Jamie.
Yeah.
Rival, she sent this question and I just love this question. She says, I find myself in need of improving myself much before actually helping others that are in all different situations. My main strength is that I can help others learn, like if they want to learn to play a musical instrument or learn any subject in English, a foreign language, or any other academic subject. I get people to achieve that very well and enjoy it. Even if they have learning disabilities, I can also encourage them in what they are good at and enjoy, get motivated, and apply discipline in general. But if they have a goal to make a lot of money or get their dream home, at least need to be able to do that for myself before I can help another person. Peggy, can you do it? Because Peggy can do it because she lived it. But I feel I need to live it before helping others. I will achieve these things and feel I have to do this first, then help others. So I would say I disagree. And I knew you would too, Mick and Vladdy. And I would say I disagree because the process of manifesting, perfecting playing a musical instrument, which Jamie is what you've accomplished, is something that you can absolutely do. And it's applicable to anything, like manifesting a home, manifesting money. It's the same process. Is that what you would advise as well, Vladdy?
Yeah, it's true. And like when I said to you, you're a highest form of God's creation, you're perfection, but you can always get better. And that's what Mick just said. I mean, one of my top daily affirmations, like day by day, every day, I get better and better in every way. And even if you're perfect and you say perfect, and somebody said to me, well, if you're perfect today, how can you be perfect tomorrow? You can always be better. Right. So if you tell someone I love you, it doesn't mean I can't love them more tomorrow, because tomorrow I can love them more. And it's the gradual inner knowing. We will never, I actually, Bob declares this, and you know, he's master in what he does, and Peggy does as well. And they both say it's the learning process. You have to have the confidence to want to learn and study all the time. But for me, if I've heard someone saying, if you people just trying to become someone, why don't you just know that you already are perfect? In your sense, there are so many people you can help at the point where you are. You can always get better. We all can. I mean, I don't think there is ever stopping process. You can choose not to ever learn but that's where people just kind of die pretty much. I don't mean in physical form, but you just don't expand. If you're not expanding and growing, it's that spirit inside you. And it's true. It's like there is no awareness. If you don't expand awareness and growth, then what are you doing? You're actually doing nothing. You stagnancy kills. That's why people create diseases and stuff, because they literally not at ease. And if you're not at ease, that happened to me, and I knew it. I knew I never even take a paracetamol, and I thought, how did this happen to me? And I knew I had a very stressful year, and I did it to myself. I just exhausted myself, and then I was just stressed, and I just did not allow myself to snap out of it. And I did, luckily, but for many people, it happens where they just carry on with that negativity, and it just ends up bad.
Yeah. And so what I would also say to Jamie is what you're coaching people on are my programs. So yes, I've done it. And there's 3 programs that we give to our coaches. One is called the Destiny Key, which is the foundational program. That's a program on how to create and live your destiny, your ultimate destiny. Another one is called Money Marathon, which is really about prosperity consciousness and attracting abundance into your life. And then the third one is, if you're a graduate from the author program, then you can also coach people on. So you don't have to have the results yourself, because that's not what you're offering. You're offering a proven methodology, proven understandings, and applicable ideas on strategies, implementation to create results that have already been proven. It's already done. It's already structured. So yes. Now we're about 2, 3, 4 minutes away from the top of the hour. We're gonna wrap up right on time here today. We are gonna come back tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday for another hour. Today was really about, I wanted you to open up your mind, your consciousness to what's possible. It's like when I met Mick, this is possible for you. And he got on with the work. And what Mick said is, I got on with the work. I followed through. He said he was ironing and he's watching videos. Vladdy was talking about it. I remember Vladdy telling me she was vacuuming and listening to audios. And so what we're offering is something that you can do, whether you're building it on the side as a part-time business. I mean, Christine runs a university. We've got people that are, doing this as a business, and it's not the only thing that they're doing. They'll very likely move over to it. But I really believe teaching these materials is the best career ever. Why? Because it's beneficial, because it helps, because it contributes to the greater good. And while you're doing it, unlimited income. And while you're doing it, you're hearing it back. It's coming back to you. Like I remember, Mick, we were back in Dallas, and it was one of Bob's events. It wasn't the same event that I met you. It might have been, actually. You know what? It was the same event where I met you. Bob and I are walking down to the ballroom to get ready for Science of Getting Rich, because that's what we were teaching that weekend. And we're heading down the ballroom, and I'm in a suit with high heels, and he's in his suit, not high heels. And we're heading down to do a mic check. And he was walking really fast. And Bob, he's 87 on his next birthday. He's an energetic guy. He'll often say, I have more energy than 30-year-olds, which he does. And so from the hotel lobby to where that ballroom was, do you remember, Mick? It was about a mile. It was a long walk. It was a long walk. And so we're heading down to the ballroom, and he's walking so fast, and I'm in my high heels, and I'm almost tripping over myself. And I said, Bob, what is the hurry? And he said, oh, I'm sorry. And he said, I didn't realize that, you're so old. And no, he didn't say that. I didn't realize that you couldn't keep up, and I said, well, I'm in high heels. You're not. And he goes, oh, okay. And I said, but seriously, why are you in a hurry? We got lots of time. It's hours before the seminar starts, and we're just going down for a mic check. And he says, well, I'm just excited. And I said, what are you excited about? He says, I'm excited about the seminar. And I said, well, you're doing it, right? You're the one that's delivering it. He goes, yeah, but every time I speak, I hear it. It's like it comes out of here and it goes back in here, and it comes out of here and it goes back in there. And that is the truth. The more you help another, the more you teach this, the better it helps you. All right, everyone, we're going to call it a wrap for today. I want to thank you, Vladdy. I want to thank you, Mick. I want to thank you, Roddy. And I want to thank all of you for being here with us. Come back tomorrow. We're going to get more into the strategy of the livingness, how you can create that point where you feel that strong conviction, that knowing that what you desire is already yours. So that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. And we'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.